Yoga is one of those physical activities with so many misconceptions around it. When you see someone practicing yoga, you might want to ask if you feel any pain with all the twists and twirls and turns and bends and all of that. But we know that some of you would love to try it out, so we made this video specifically for you. Yeah, you, that wants to get your body and mind in shape with yoga, but have little or no clue on what it's about, what the myths are, and what the facts are. So, what exactly is yoga? When and where to start, and who started it in the first place? Yoga is a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices, or disciplines, which originated in ancient India. Yoga is one of the 6 orthodox schools of Indian philosophical traditions called the Astikas. Yoga is a mind and body practice with a 5,000-year history in ancient Indian philosophy. Various styles of yoga combine physical postures, breathing techniques, and meditation or relaxation. In more recent years, it has become popular as a form of physical exercise based upon poses that promote improved control of the mind and body and enhance well-being. Yoga is essentially a spiritual discipline based on an extremely subtle science, which focuses on bringing harmony between mind and body. It is an art and science of healthy living. The word yoga is derived from the Sanskrit root yuj, meaning to join, or to yoke, or to unite. Although there is no written record of the inventor of yoga, the beginnings of yoga is reported to have been associated with the Indus Sarasvati civilization in northern India over 5,000 years ago. The word yoga was first mentioned in the oldest sacred text, the Rig Veda. The Veda was a collection of texts containing songs, mantras, and rituals to be used by Brahmins, the Vedic priests. Yoga was solely refined and developed by the Brahmins and Rishis who documented their practices and beliefs in the Upanishads, a huge work containing over 200 scriptures. Male yoga practitioners are known as yogis, and female yoga practitioners are known as yoginis. Both practiced and taught yoga long before any written account of yoga came into existence. Over the next 5 millennia, yogis passed the discipline down to their students, and many different schools of yoga developed as the practice expanded its global reach and popularity. The Yoga Sutra, a 2,000-year-old treatise on yogic philosophy by the Indian sage Patanjali, is a guidebook on how to master the mind, control the emotions, and grow spiritually. The Yoga Sutra is the earliest written record of yoga and one of the oldest texts in existence, and provides a framework for all modern yoga. As per yogic scriptures, the practice of yoga leads to the union of individual consciousness with that of the universal consciousness, indicating a perfect harmony between the mind and body, man and nature. According to modern scientists, everything in the universe is just a manifestation of the same quantum firmament. One who experiences this oneness of existence is said to be in yoga and is termed as a yogi, having attained to a state of freedom referred to as a mukti, nirvana, or moksha. Thus, the aim of yoga is self-realization, to overcome all kinds of sufferings leading to the state of liberation, which is called moksha, or the state of freedom, which is called the kaivalya. From its roots, living with freedom in all walks of life, health, and harmony shall be the main objectives of yoga practice. The practice of yoga is believed to have started with the very dawn of civilization. The science of yoga has its origin thousands of years ago, long before the first religions or belief systems were born. Today, we can't say there is much emphasis on the internal and spiritual aspects of yoga. But boy, people can stretch. So is yoga still on the course that it was set by the originators? Nah. Yoga is well known for its posture and poses, but they were not a key part of original yoga traditions in India. Fitness was not a primary goal of the originators, but it is for most people today. Try Googling the word fitness, and we're sure yoga would pop up somewhere in the results. Practitioners and followers of yogic tradition focus instead on other practices, such as expanding spiritual energy using breathing methods and mental focus. Yoga, as we know it, began to gain popularity in the West at the end of the 19th century. An explosion of interest in postured yoga occurred in the 1920s and 1930s, first in India and later in the West. To make the most of yoga, you must have a clear-cut understanding of the original purpose of yoga. The true purpose of this 5,000-plus-year-old practice was never about contorting into the perfect pose, wearing cute yoga outfits, or building Instagram followers with sexy backbend photos. This is why you need to understand the different kinds of yoga out there. There are various variations with each serving a different purpose. We would talk about 8 of the most popular kinds of yoga out there. Hold your seats. Number 1, Hatha. Hatha Yoga is a standard term that includes most yoga styles that combines breath work with physical postures. The term is broadly used, but typically involves a gentle introduction to basic yoga postures for beginners or those who prefer a more relaxed style. You probably won't leave a Hatha Yoga class sweaty and tired, but you could have feeling more relaxed and stretched out. Hatha classes may vary, so it is best to call and inquire with the gym or studio offering the class. Number 2, Vinyasa. Vinyasa-style yoga combines rhythmic breathing with a series of flowing postures for a vigorous mind-body workout. Since it links breath to movement, Vinyasa Yoga is fluid and quickly paced, perfect for those who are looking for something athletic and dynamic. Vinyasa Yoga can also be called Power Yoga, depending on the gym or studio. Expect to move to upbeat music, sweat, and burn some calories on this type of yoga. Number 3, Ashtanga. Ashtanga is very similar to Vinyasa Yoga, and rigor and style are both linked breath to movement. Sometimes both terms are used interchangeably, but traditional Ashtanga is more structured. It follows a specific sequence of poses in the same order. Ideal is for those looking for something predictable. Expect Ashtanga to be hot, sweaty, and physically demanding. This is best explored if you are used to a vigorous workout and is not intended for someone just starting to become more active. Number 4, Iyengar. Iyengar is a meticulous style of yoga, emphasizing proper form in a yoga pose. An Iyengar class will usually provide an array of yoga props such as blocks, straps, bolsters, blankets, etc. This would help each student find proper alignment. It is also usually taught without music and at a slower pace to help students get deeper into the postures and hold them for longer. This style of yoga is best for those with an injury or chronic condition, as Iyengar teachers must undergo comprehensive training to provide knowledgeable instruction. Number 5, Kundalini. Kundalini focuses on repetitive movements synchronized with the breath, along with chanting and meditating. The practice focuses on awakening the energy at the base of the spine to draw up through each of these 7 chakras and the different areas of energy throughout the body. Expect to chant mantras and practice more simple poses, while focusing your energy on awareness of both body and mind. Number 5, Bikram. You can be assured of 2 things when attending a Bikram class: sweat and consistency. No kidding. A Bikram class is the same no matter where you go, as it consists of a series of 26 poses, done in a specific order for 90 minutes, in a room heated to 105 degrees Fahrenheit, 40.6 degrees Celsius, with a humidity of 40%. It's widely popular and relatively easy to find, but is not recommended for those with a sensitivity to heat. Pre-hydration and post-hydration, along with electrolytes replacements after this workout, is advised to prevent fluid electrolyte imbalances. It is also important to guard against overstraining your muscles and joints beyond what is comfortable due to increased flexibility with heat. Caution is also advised for those who are already overly flexible, known as the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Classes are usually taught in a bright room with students facing mirrors to check proper alignment in their poses. If you're looking for a disciplined yoga practice without music and want to know what to expect every time, this is the style for you. Number 7, Jiva Yoga incorporates Vinyasa-style flow through movement along with weekly themes: Sanskrit chanting, meditation, readings, and affirmations. Classes typically begin with a standardized warm-up sequence unique to Jiva and end with students adding to their broad yoga education over time. Each week, there is something new to learn, whether it's focusing on a particular pose or discussing ancient yoga teaching. If you're looking for something highly meditative, but also physically challenging, consider trying Jiva. Number 8, Yin or restorative. Yin Yoga is a slow-paced style that is meant to be meditative and relaxing. It is often interchangeable with restorative yoga, as both typically use props to experience yoga in passive poses for several minutes. The focus is to lengthen the connective tissue, the tendons, fascia, and ligaments, to improve flexibility and increase circulation in the joints. Expect to hold poses for longer than the usual 3 to 5 minutes. This class is great to unwind after a long week or weekend and suitable for everyone looking to feel rejuvenated and relaxed. So, you see, the original context of yoga was spiritual development via practices for training the body and mind to self-observe and become aware of their nature. The purposes of yoga are to cultivate discernment, awareness, self-regulation, and higher consciousness in the individual. As the split occurring between those seeking physical development versus those seeking spiritual development has widened, the lack of awareness and attention to inner experience has disconnected the practitioner from his body. But here's a bitter pill to swallow. If you walk into any random yoga class, even if the rooms are filled with wall-to-wall with students, there is a very high likelihood that fewer of these people are men than you can count on one hand. Either on Instagram or physical classes, there seems to be a domination of the women populace in the yoga world, and there have been several arguments on why it is so. Some say it's because women are more conscious of their bodies, so they take up fitness plans to stay in shape. Others say it's because women are naturally more flexible, and it's a fact. It's no wonder you see women sitting cross-legged and sometimes even in Vajrayasana, the thunderbolt pose, on seats in offices, restaurants, airports, and elsewhere. While it is such a rare sight to see men sitting in similar positions unless they are hardcore yogis. People do yoga for different reasons, mostly to stay fit. However, this is not the real focus of yoga. You can only find real happiness when a person can achieve the actual goal of yoga, which is optimum physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. And with that, we have come to the end of a very interesting video. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you next time.